Good evening, folks. Let there be light. Wrong screen. Mr. X, our favorite mutant. What's going on? I really like the fact that you don't let your disability get you down. Being bound to a wheelchair by all that time and still starting that school. It's admirable. I forgot how to play for a second. That I didn't until last night make the, not that there was necessarily one implied, but make the connection between the comic book character. Fucking headset. I hate the headsets. I hate headsets. Between the bald comic book character and the name. Marvel's another one that's on my boycott list. Supposed to do EverQuest tonight, but Gathorn's still on vacation, and Thompson ended up going to the state fair in Minnesota. I think it is Minnesota, maybe. Yeah, that sounds right. So here we are. It's either this or Fortnite. Ah, I'm kidding. Tommy's been playing a lot of Fortnite, and you know, the stuff that I do with gaming life means I have to watch a lot of other people streaming, you know, support and that kind of thing. So I end up watching a lot of Fortnite streams. And after you do it long enough, you kind of want to join it. Because you see all these people running around doing all these silly things, and it looks like they're having so much fun despite the fact that they're getting ready to put their fists through their screen. And pretty sure that's how the Black Plague started. Maybe it's not Minnesota. I don't know. Let me check real quick. Yeah, Minnesota State Fair. Yep. Maybe he's just pretending to have friends again. That's what I think. I feel bad that I haven't been on EverQuest for a while, but I'm having so much fun on this. This is me having fun, by the way. We have a pretty big one here, but we got a lot of farmers. Well, I guess you do too in Minnesota. Or do you? I don't know. What does Minnesota got? What do you do in Minnesota? You do? Okay. Yeah. It's one of the states you just don't hear a lot about. No offense. Although I suppose from your perspective, that's probably a good thing. You farm the lakes. Fuck Minnesota. We're all grown-ups here. What am I on? 5, 6 is done, 7. Buff, 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 buff. I gotta remember to get him some tapers tonight too. This has got to get upgraded. I need a new frost weapon. I need to get that bludgeoning thing working. Oh, so much to do, so much to do. That's why I like this game. There's so much stuff to keep you busy. It's not all about questing or everything. It's more about just going out and doing things to stay busy. You know, like the average office job. Or a factory job. Oh, man. I was debating whether or not I was even going to, hop on tonight. And maybe just take night off, but there you go. Hey, Perp, thanks for the host. Perforosers. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I just call him Perp. Hope he doesn't mind. There's some assassins. Alright, X, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure. 9. 350. Yeah, we'll take that. What the hell, dude? Oh, freaking pushy. Chacote, what's going on? How you doing? Good deal. They don't get much older than this one. If you want anything older, I think you have to go to Ultima. Supposed to be doing EverQuest. I was just telling X we were supposed to be doing EverQuest tonight, but one guy's on vacation, the other guy's at the state fair, so here we are. That's it. They're so pretty. Sturdy iron key. Never get enough of those. Primarily just looking for salvage, but any majors that happen to pop my way, I'm gonna. And unarmed weapons. Unarmed weapons. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm doing this on the island because on the island everything respawns at an alarmingly fast rate. So you can pretty much just stay in one spot. Oh shit. Forgot I was debuffed. This. For me, this. Now other people disagree, of course. Everybody's got their own personal preference. This will always be home. This was my first. This is the one I spent the most time on. And it's the one I just get the most enjoyment out of. And it has a pretty rainbow leveling thing. So what's not to love about that? Oh, you please just go away. Yeah, I played a while right up through to Cataclysm. Very enjoyable game. Even to this day, I still pay attention to it. I watch Swifty's PvP streams, Preach, and his stuff. Still enjoy watching it. I love the lore. Your first is always going to be your first, and nothing's going to change that. This actually isn't even up anymore. It was brought down about a year and a half ago. But through the hard work and devotion of a very dedicated player base, small but dedicated, it lives on in emulated form. It was a sad, sad day. It really was. You should see the videos. Everybody that was there when they brought the servers down. Bring a tear to your eye. Yeah. Yeah, knowing that someday it's going to end, even EverQuest, which is still currently running, just knowing that someday it's going to end. Take those. I love that game. Freaking love that game. I wish I had played it more. It was a game that got kind of repetitive if you played it too much. That was kind of its downfall. But it was a very enjoyable game. It was so fast, and you were a freaking superhero. Well, that's and was it NCSoft? That's just the way they operate. They had another game called X-Steel. It was a mecha game. You piloted a mech, not a mech, but more like a Gundam kind of thing. Very fast. It was a capture the flag, node protection, that kind of thing. Very fast paced, crazy fast, especially for the time period. And just one day out of the blue, they decided they were going to bring it down. Same company. That's just kind of the way they operate. Weird. Koreans have very different ideas on running MMOs, and the minute something stops showing growth or looks like it's going to become a financial liability, gone. Oh, I hate these damn things. They have so much health. What, did I pull 2? Holy shit. I might die here. Nope, we're good. Hey, thanks for the follow, Chakate.
And learn.
That was an excellent game, though. Fortunately, there are 2 spiritual successors in the works. Vanguard and City of Titans. So all is not lost. Was there something over here? Coral Golem. They both look very good too. You'd be hard pressed to tell the difference between the two. If you like City Heroes, Champions Online. If it's still running, I haven't played it in a while, but it's not as good, but still good. It has a similar feel. Fun game, very very fun game. Should actually play that more. DC Universe isn't bad either, but I prefer Champions over DC. That's personal preference. I believe they're both free to play. DC, well, they have free to play tiers. You know what I mean? Just like any other game. I've been playing them, well, 1999 when this came out. That's when I started playing MMOs. And it's been my preferred genre ever since. In fact, the reason I got my first computer was to play this game. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that we've seen the extent of the MMO lifespan. Just seems like the market for MMOs is drying up. The new generation of gamers just don't have the attention span for it, and it's sad. You know, and you're seeing that in the MMOs themselves. They're all becoming quicker, easier, less grindy. You know, it's all battle royale and quick hop in, play your game, hop out. But I'm going to ride that wave as long as it lasts. And I like me some shooters too, don't get me wrong. But you don't build a community that way. That's what... Dress, what's going on? We're talking about MMOs. That's always been the strong point of a true MMO. WoW had it in the beginning, and then they lost it. EverQuest, same deal. They had a very strong community vibe in the beginning, and then they made changes to the game. You know, quality of life changes that just pulled the community apart, forced people to stop talking to one another, made soloing easier. You know, because that's what people ask for. They're just giving everybody what they ask for, and you know, it's one of those "be careful what you wish for" kind of deals. Chris runs the server buffbot, amongst other things. All-around troubleshooter and pretty good pimp. Always knows where to get the hose. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think EverQuest P99 is Project 1999. That's the last bastion of that classic MMO feel, that classic community feel. You know, 'cause as much as I love this game, I make no illusions about the fact that it the community started to fall apart. Oh yeah, P99 is they're getting ready to do the final patch for Velios, and then that'll be it. That's as far as it's going to go. But they are going to launch another server. There's plans on launching another classic EverQuest server. This game was always more solo friendly, so at least eventually it was. So it kind of took away from some of that community stuff. All games fall prey to it. It's the evolution. One of the developers said the worst thing you can do is listen to your player base. Yeah, very solo friendly if you play 3 classes and 3 boxes. Not a moose! What's going on, yo? For me, solo is fine. I love to solo. I don't like playing in groups. Not that I don't like people. It's just very frequently my life does not allow me to... Life, not wife. Life does not allow me to do that kind of gameplay. You know, that time-intensive grouping in dungeons and spending hours and hours and hours in there. I've never had that luxury. yet another reason why this game appealed to me so much. Anonymous hates it. He hates this game. He hates it when I stream this game. But yeah, P99's still alive and well. Zeus, the man, the myth, the father of the thunder god. Same. Yeah, well, I told the story. A buddy of mine was playing it when I stopped by his house, and saw him running up the beach outside Eastham, swinging this big Lugeon axe at Gromny's, and fireballs going back and forth, because that's when all the noobs were on the Eastham beach. And I was instantly hooked. I played it to death. To death. If I wasn't working, I was playing. I'd get 3-4 hours sleep a night just so I could spend as much time on the game as I could. Horrible. It's horrible. Once a month I'd crash just to catch up on my sleep. Patch day. Patch day was always when you caught up on your sleep. You never played on patch day. You do, Anonymous, and I appreciate it. I do. Thompson ended up going to State Fair in Minnesota. So plans kind of fell apart. We're supposed to do EQ tonight. That's how I've always played all of them. The biggest drawback for me for EverQuest was the fact that you had to do so much group content. Demon Hunt, thanks for the follow.
And learn.
Especially back in the beginning when I first started playing. HortCon. I'm supposed to be going to PAX Unplugged in November. It's not necessarily actually HortCon, but I will be there if you want an autograph. Kidding. I'm not sure if I'm going to go. It's not my thing. Invite you all over for coffee, and that we'll call it that. Here's Driss. We'll take group selfies. Upload them to Twitter with hashtags. See all that white sapphire I found so far? None. Piss off, Driss. Asheron's Call goes in stages. There's tiers of there's like it's based on your weapon skill effectively. There's 250, 300, 325, 350, and for each one of those tiers you need to completely replace all your weapons. It's that kind of game, and it's just an ongoing process until you hit end game, and then you make an alt and start all over. There's no point to it, no, really. There's no raiding. I mean, there's big dungeons and stuff like that, but it's not that kind of MMO. Chickens falling from the sky. Alright, what do we got here? Excuse me. It's a game full of busy work, and that's what keeps you playing. That next goal, that next accomplishment, that next achievement. So every class, whether you're playing a melee class or a range class or a mage class, they all have their tiers, and you're constantly working to move up to the next tier. And there's dungeons and adventures and stuff like that too, and bragging rights and housing. Oh, housing. This was the first game to do housing right. And then once you get your house, you have to decorate your house, which means even more running around, killing things, and what the hell? What's PoE? And for that matter, what's D3? Diablo 3. Yeah, I can see the Diablo 3 similarities. Path of Exile. Never played it. I don't think. I may have. Who knows? Who knows? Get out of here with your 300 wield requirement. Starting next week, nothing but Fortnite. So, make sure you tune in. Super sword of banana peeling. You totally got to make a super sword of banana peeling. Have Bobo drop it. Does bludgeon damage. Ring strike, Hark Seeker. I got enough slashing. Jesus. What's with all the chickens? Everything's chickens. It's all chickens with these people. I'm gonna laugh when we finally go do Bobo. He drops a sword of banana peeling. Make it look like one of the spike clubs, because Tuskers aren't that bright. Hey, I got us drudge hookers. No more lonely nights in Dareth. And they're furry too. White Sapphire. Woot. Put them all the what was it? The newbie dungeon that's up over the hill next to that column. Should replace all the drudges in there with drudge hookers and make all the lighting red. See, we could have so much fun with this. Could have so much fun with this server. And it wouldn't be too difficult to do. Just change some of the lighting, change some of the names. Put zippers on the shadows so they all look like gimp suits. The first MMO with an NC-17 rating. Then you can't get hit for copyright either. Yeah, see that? It's all new content. Inspired by. See? It's an homage. Yeah, looky looky. Still work on that. 6. I'm not gonna get any tinks on it. Yeah, screw it. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's gonna take up space. Yeah, bards don't get any attack abilities. It's all about their songs. I mean, I'm sure you figured that out eventually. But, yeah, all bards do is swing their swords. They don't have any secondary attack abilities because with a bard, you play 4 songs at the same time. You, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you twist the songs. So you got all 4 effects going at the same time. And you end up with carpal tunnel, of course, but you don't have the free hands to do any combat abilities. You can't now. I mean, you can, but it's very similar, Driss, very similar, but it's a constant thing. It's a and if you don't have your macros set up properly, you literally have to turn the song on, turn it off, turn the song on, turn it off. So every time you play a song, it's 2 key clicks. Now you can set up a macro to just make it 1, and then later on they added the melody thing, which allowed you to set up a macro to play up to 4 songs at once. I mean, you can play as many as you want, but the spell effects only last long enough to get 4 songs going. Whoa, shit. But on P99, bards can kite up to 25 mobs at a time because that's the maximum number that can be affected by a spell effect. It used to be there was no limit, and I've seen people kite up entire zones, just herd up the entire zone into one big pile, and then just kill it. Solo, all by themselves. But then they reduce number of mobs affected by spells to 25. That's how I level mine. It's so much easier. But if you go into YouTube and check it out, you know, back in the old bard kiting days, you'll see them go down to South Corona and just herd up everything into one big pile of mobs, and then they, you know, just do their 2 AOE songs, and after about 10 minutes or so, they all just start dropping. Boom, 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 boom. You can't even loot them before they start to decompose. Right. Yeah. Most you can do now is 25 on P99. Live, you can't do it at all. It's mo-delicious. Is that everybody? Did I get them all? Oh, he hit me with the spell before he even cast it. Did you see that? I think we will. I think we will. For this game? No. You see right here, this is your, down the bottom right hand corner is your 1 through 10 keys, and that's just for equipping stuff basically. Yeah, you'll line up your, well, like here, I got my healing kit in number 1, and then my backpack in number 2, so that when I go 1, 2, I'll heal myself, just like that. And then 3 is my shield, then 4 through 7 are my weapons, 8 is my casting thing, because everybody in this game is a mage. The only thing that differentiates one from another is what you kill with. And then 9, I have my potions, stamina potions. Now, everybody in this game has at least 3 schools of magic: creature, item, and life. And then you have mana conversion to make your spell casting more efficient. And then if you're a full-blown mage, you'll have war magic. It's all skill-based. That's the list of skills available. And then you have your stats, of course. Pretty normal things there. And yeah. And you can either have them trained or you can have them specialized. If they're specialized, they work a little better. They're a little cheaper to raise. But yeah. And then the difference between the mage classes are what you use to kill with. This character uses unarmed combat. If I was a mage, this would be war magic. There used to be a time when you could specialize life magic and kill with that. But that doesn't really work anymore. Let's show you the house while we're here. I have to get buffs. So, gotta go back to town. Now, this isn't your typical house. We don't talk about the wall lickers. Yeah, life mages, they would drain the bad guys. Drain the health out of them. Because there was a thing where you could drain the health out of a bad guy even if you were at full health. And it would work through walls. So the mages would be up against the wall with their spellcasting thing, casting their spells through the walls, and completely safe, completely unharmed. Just sitting there, drain, 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 harm. That was life mages. Then they got big old Nerf bat. But this is our house in the middle of our beach. It's the ocean out there. Showing off a little bit. We're still furnishing the place. We just picked it up last week, so this was a quest item that we went and got, and this was a quest item that we went and got. You double click on this and it casts a stackable buff. Yeah, mansion. Seaside mansion to be precise. This is a statue that will teach you all your level 1 through 6 item spells if you do the quest. And our horn. I hope you can hear this. And our haunted couch. Yeah. And it is big. It is huge. There's 3 floors plus a tower upstairs, and then there's a basement downstairs, and then there's a portal in the basement that takes you to the sub-basement where all the storage is. You can see the portal here on the mini-map. But you click on that and it takes you down into the sub-basement, which is another big room with 2 floors. And then there's a storage chest down there where you can store all the stuff for everybody in the guild. Now this is guild housing. This is housing designed for an entire guild. They come as small as single room apartments with a chest. It's just literally a room with a chest in it. And then you'll live in a row of apartments. Then you step up from that as a cottage. It has 2 rooms upstairs and then a basement with a chest in it. And then the step up from that is the villa, which is 2 or 3 floors with a little courtyard, and then it has a sub-basement with a portal that leads to the storage basement. And then you have the mansion, which is the big dog. But it's located right here on the coast. Yeah. And it's right out on the landscape. You can run past it. People can run by your house and wave to you when you're out front. Mansions are cool, but you never use them. So, that's not the... This is the game map. This is the map that comes with the game. This is an add-on. Freaking air. And now I'm gonna show you the downside. You ready? We're gonna go back to Holtberg where Driss's buff bot is. And it's all one continuous zone. There's no zoning. If you can see it, you can run to it. Literally. With a few exceptions. You can't run to the islands. but they are on the same plane. They're on the same world. You can see them. You just can't run to them because there's invisible walls in the middle of the ocean. So you have to take a portal to get there. Dungeons, you have to go through a portal, but they are still on the same plane. They're just housed in the ocean here in the middle, the sea in the middle. Right. No instances at all. Now I'm going to show you the downside. Buffing. Remember all those skills and all those stats that I showed you earlier? Well, you have to buff every freaking one of them. And then on top of that, you have to buff all your armor, all your weapons, your shield, everything has to get buffed. That's what allows you to kill things that are twice your level. If you don't do that, you get your ass kicked. So we go up here to Driss's bot, and we send him a private tell that says, or whatever our combat skill is. We're using unarmed, so you use UA. And we're also a 3-school mage, so we'll give the 3-school command, and then he'll buff that next, after he does the UA buffs. And while he's doing that, I'm going to grab a coffee. I'll be right back. And since you're here and we're doing Q&A session, I'll log on to my mage to show you what a full mage does. The melee skills, they come in a variety of flavors. This guy's unarmed combat, but you can have sword, mace, dagger, axe, staff, spear. And then you got 3 ranged, which are bow, crossbow, and thrown weapons. And you can literally throw plates and cups and dishes at people because they're all considered thrown weapons. So if you find like a pitcher on a mob, your mom's a spear. You can take that and throw it at somebody, and it does damage. But that's not what you'd typically use. Rat King, what's going on? All right, I'm going to stop there with that. I'm not going to... Let's switch over the mage. And then you got your mage. Mage really only comes in one flavor, war. But within that one character class, all your damage types are covered. It was. This was the MMO with the most complex buffing system I've ever seen. This is oh shit, client crashed. 1 second. This by far had the most complex buffing system of any MMO I've ever played. Right. Why the hell does it do that? If you don't do the buffing thing. Oh yeah, I forgot all about spell components. You can still play. You can use the inherent buffs on your gear. You just have to fight much lower level mobs, and you progress a lot slower. This is my mage. He wears a dress. Not that you have to. None of the gear is class specific. Some of it's race specific, but none of it's class specific. Anybody can wear any gear. God, remember the old component system before the foci? You want to talk? 3, and they're all human. You got Middle Easterners, you got Asians, and you got white folk. That's what you got. Alluvian are they're basically Europeans. Garundum are the Middle Eastern. And then the show are the Asian kind. But originally, let's go to 6. This formula down here, it's a scarab and then tapers, which are like candles. They condensed it into these prismatic tapers. Originally, you would have a whole rainbow of tapers. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And then you'd have your scarab, which is this thing right here. And then you'd have a talisman, which was a little wooden piece. And then you'd have an herb of some sort. And then you'd have a potion of some sort. And you'd have to get the right combination of tapers. And it was different for every single account. And you had to learn it by trial and error for every single spell. And this is just the level 6 item spells. Creature, item, life, lore, void. These are all... No, void. There is no void magic in this. These are all my level 6 spells that I can cast. Now they simplified it a lot. They gave us the focus things here, these first 4 slots in my bag, and the prismatic tapers. So they really simplified it a lot. The scarab determines what level spell. Yeah. That's all it does. Yeah. Very complex. And then spell economy. My God. The more you cast a spell, the less effective it would be. So you had to mix your spells up. And that's just one class of spells. Or that's just one level of spells. You got that for every level. Levels 1 through 7. Craziness. Now I'm going to, rather than buff myself, he's got level 7 buffs. I only can do 6s on this guy. Yes, yeah, God, that was horrible. If you kept casting Fireball, it would do less and less damage the more you cast it. And it didn't just affect you, it affected everybody on the server. So if everybody was casting Fireballs, everybody's Fireballs would start doing less and less damage. It was a server-wide thing. Yeah. Yeah, so even if you didn't cast a Fireball at all today, but somebody else had been casting them all day, your Fireballs would suck. Because that flavor of magic was getting used up faster than it could recharge. Yeah, it didn't last long. They took that out like within the first year. It was a headache. You got. Oh, you need tapers. I think I need components too, actually. And when you were playing a four-school mage back in the day, 4 or 5 of your backpacks would be nothing but spell components. And you'd see people just standing in town, trying their tapers, fizzle, 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 and then a guy named PEA, came out with the Split P program, the first third-party software for the game. That would you'd still have to learn your tapers initially for a few of them, but then it would figure out the pattern, and from that point forward, it would tell you what tapers you needed to cast the spells. You'd still need to learn them, unless you had found a scroll, because you couldn't buy them back then. Is that all I need? Did you buff my shit? Well, High Tide is a red server. It's PvP. Everybody's flagged for PvP. How do you cast Banes? Not on this server. You have to go on a separate server for it. It's brutal. It's brutal, Racking. You have not done PvP until you've done Asheron's Call PvP. Everybody's a mage. You better get really good at that strafing thing, because it's mandatory. It's brutal. It didn't cast my Banes. And did the mage command? Is that right? Is there just a Bane command? Ah, screw it, I can do my own Banes. There's a line building. I don't want to take up the line. Oh. Or that. Shield, okay. Got it. Show off. That's Zeus right there. Oh, my cape. Freaking capes. No, this is Fizzle Classic. You see that buffs all the protections on your armor. That's what Banes are. And your underwear. And I forgot to pause. I'm just going to go kill some stuff real quick, just to show you how it works. Spells are line of sight. All your war spells are line of sight. So that means if you see a fireball coming at you, you can step aside and it'll go right past you. Monsters aren't that smart, fortunately. So you find your mob, debuff it. That makes it weak to fire, and then you throw a big old fireball at it. And it dies. Whoa, no he didn't. Hold on, gotta recharge. None whatsoever. Yeah, the ranged, if they're doing a ranged attack, their hitbox moves from side to side, and like I said, it's line of sight. So as they're cocking their bow, their hitbox moves, and the spell goes right next to them and misses them completely. But it's debuff, and then blow it up. And then you can convert your stamina or health into mana. You usually just do stamina to mana. And then you can drain it right back out of the bad guy, so you never run out of... it depends on the sword, Rat King. Some are heavy, some are light, some are finesse. All weapons have, like unarmed weapons, katars would be heavy weapons, I believe. Trying to find something fun. All unique. All the creatures are unique to the game. There aren't any creatures on the game that have appeared in any other game. They made their own bestiary. So this is a Manuga. They have 3 eyes, one on top of the other. Schlappy, what's going on? Oh, Matt Lauren, sorry I missed you there. See, there's 3 eyes stacked on top of one another. And Zeus is making it dark. Bastard. With great power comes great irresponsibility. Oh yeah, rats. Yeah. You always want to start in Holtburg. That's like the core starting town, the base starting town for everybody. Hey Tom, welcome back. And now the sky's green. Because sure, why not? You suck, Zeus. You suck balls. Well, Schlapp, I will try to keep it, keep the conversation light so we don't get your mind all working. But this is a mage, and normality has returned. There are trade skills. Use your trade skills to improve your armor and weapons. What's going on? Great. Good job, Zeus. You crashed the server. Had to fuck around, didn't you? You did, too. You crashed the server. Alright, give me a second. I gotta restart. Somebody playing around. You gonna be able to hop on tomorrow, Tom? Yeah, big old red X next to the server name. How about that? Damn kids. Okay. We will plan that then. I waited as long as I could. I waited till 10:30 and then I just had to get it set up and fired up. There we go. Your mom's an auction house. When your mom sits around the auction house, she sits around the auction house. No worries, no worries. I half anticipated it. Those things always end up running late. So, it's always a backup plan. White Jade Flaming Smashing Orb. What the hell is that? Did you see the name of that freaking thing? Requires base war magic. What the fuck is this? You're seeing this, right? I'm keeping it. One of these days, my war magic's going to be that high. This is a boss mob, basically. They have a shit ton of hit points. And it just takes forever to kill them. You have the wrong DAT files, Rat King. You need the classic DAT files if you're trying to get on here. And if you're trying to get on High Tide, you need the Throne of Destiny DATs. This is a nice creature to show you how the skills, magic skills work. Now you see my blue mana bar going down. When it gets down to about halfway, you cast stamina to mana. That drains your stamina, replenishes your mana, and then you drain the stamina back out of the bad guy, and you're good to go. No downtime. How was the fair, Tom? You still here? Good. And we got one about a half hour from here every year. Same deal. Lots of farmers in this area, so it's an actual fair, you know, with livestock and everything. Cheese curds and mini donuts. Well, what else do you need? Girlfriend found out how to make wine tonight. She's going to turn into an alcoholic, I'm afraid. But there, no downtime. You should never run out of mana in this game. If you're playing a mage, you should always end every fight full health, full stamina, full mana. Edge of radar. As long as it's on your radar, you can hit it with a spell. Oh, come on, he's resisting me. There we go. Come on. The Umber Shadows have a high magic resistance, so they're a pain in the ass. There we go. Shit, I didn't need to do this. Oh, nice, nice. They're always so nice, those fairs. I always like those fairs. The food. Heart attack in the palm of your hands. Answer? I did not know that. Never knew that. Ah! How about that? I never knew that. Thanks, Cyber. All these years. All these freaking years, and I never knew you could do that. Oh, very nice, Tom. Good deal. Good deal. You'll save your parents a lot of money. Me neither. I've been playing this game literally since 1999. I never knew you could do that. I just got so used to the 10-slot system. 9-slot, I guess. Emerald, holy shit. Well, you really tweaked the drop rates on these wands. Or the, yeah. You know what I mean. Might actually get acid riding before the end of the year. I've given up on bludgeon. Just use Pierce for everything. We're both throwing shit. And if you want them to stop throwing shit, you just get into melee range. Yeah, yeah. Fizzle Classic, Jin. Generic. No, I'm supposed to cast that on you. But the PvP in the game is everybody plays a mage. You have to play a mage if you're going to do any PvP. I mean, you don't have to, but you're kidding yourself if you don't. And it's just constant moving, casting, running, strafing, doing things. It's insane. Insane. I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way in hell. Because of the line of sight thing. You'll drop your highest valued items, so you carry death items. Items that are very high value but completely worthless. It's in the launcher racking. There's a little Discord. Yeah, I could never do it. I was always so bad at it. I don't have that killer instinct that you need. Too nice. Alright, no, I'll wait until you heal up. It's okay. Alright, Chacote, thanks for stopping by. Always fun to show folks a glimpse from it, and that's why it's important to preserve these things, because there's a lot of people out there that have never seen this game, that would never see this game. And that's why we need to get that archive museum going. Yeah, yeah. It's a blessing and a curse. Well, here every night at 11. If you ever want to try it out, costs nothing. Why is everything resisting me so bad? What the hell? Stop resisting. Danny Maple. Susquehanna River. No way. You're getting my neck of the woods now. Goes right through my town. Well, yeah, that. And a pint of blood, but you know, we'll discuss that later. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, a lot of the folks here thinks it's a good idea to swim in that river. More power to them. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of Chinese people that played when it first came out. And that prompted the notion that maybe there's a collection of DAT files in China somewhere on some old computer forgotten in somebody's closet. Huh, I wonder if you have an older launcher. You might need to update your launcher, I don't know. Oh, Driss is tech support. I'm just a pretty face. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of curious to see if that's a thing now. I mean, highly doubtful. Highly doubtful, but it'd be cool if it was. Stack, Tuskers stacked on top of each other. Oh god, should have been here last week. I was playing Vanguard Saga of Heroes. That game's not up anymore either. But somebody put an emulator together for it. And then Zeus has a Dark Age of Camelot emulator also. Even when I was a kid, I wouldn't swim in that river, Danny. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. We swam in worse. Swam? Let's why ramp up the magic resistance on the Tuskers. Oh, come on. What the hell? Jesus. That was way more work than it should have. Tuskers are supposed to be easy. Did you catch anything, Danny? My computer situation? It's AMD quad core, 3.8 gig. I forget which model. 16 gigs of RAM. GTX 960. What the hell is wrong with you? You look like a penis monster now. Nothing major. It's not a great computer by any stretch. Why are you kicking me? Rotten bastard. This is harassment, you know. You need help, dude. Seriously. Holy shit. I didn't know they got that big in the Susquehanna. Ooh, there's a fun thing to kill. Is it really? Good lord. Zeus. Henderson plant. Love those things. Diamond. Good lord. The admin. It's his server. Ah, it's down the hill. Shit. Well, I have to go get it. It's a red plant. They don't grow on trees. Oh, no, I don't. Loot. What are you pointing at now? No mount. Mounts would just slow you down. When your run speed's maxed out, you're running at basically 30-40 miles an hour. To get on a mount, it would just slow you down. Because you have a run skill and a jump skill. And the higher they are, the faster you can run, the higher you can jump, or the further you can jump. Now, this is a mage, so he doesn't have a very high skill. But the melee classes, it's off the charts. Yeah. What the hell was that? Oh, Jesus Christ, I was getting ready to kill it. I thought it was a bandit. Bandit. Oops, hold on. But yeah, you jump pretty far. You can jump it, and you can jump over the wall in that fort there. That too. What the hell is this? You're seeing this, right? Steel zapping baton. Somebody has too much time on his hands. Zapping baton. I don't know why I do this to myself. These things are such a pain in the ass to kill, and they never drop anything. Although, with the change in the loot tables, that's not necessarily the case anymore. Debuff doesn't seem to do anything to him. There he goes. Hey, look who it is. It's Carolyn. It's a pain in the ass to kill. Jet. Emerald? Zapping, slashing baton? Jesus Christ. What's the deal with the war magic requirements? He is in one of the dungeons. Garland, Elemental Master. Pain in the ass to kill. Oh my god. What is the deal with that? It's like on everything. You broke something when you were fucking around with the sky. Yeah, the dungeon's a pain in the ass too. That's one of the first ones Zeus and I did together. He shanghaied me into doing it. I was at nowhere near the level you should have been to go through that dungeon. He shanghaied me to go through and do it. It took forever. We couldn't get him trapped. You know how you trap Garland between the wall and then have ranged attack guys kill him? We couldn't get him to trap. He kept either going through it or going around it. So we had some scary moments. They didn't work when we went through it. Rolling balls of death. Oh, that's a horrible dungeon. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of that back in those days. Computers could barely run the game. Something is amiss. Did I check all three of them? Yeah, I did. Oh, come on. It was a bizarre event, though. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I never got to fight that. Never got to do that dungeon. Oh, the Bowser on Acheron battle was actually two of the developers controlling the characters. It was a scripted thing that didn't quite go off as planned. Yeah. I think I forget what the details were, but as soon as Baltron logged on, everybody started swearing fealty to him. So he ended up with all these vassals. And at one point, I think one of them killed the other one before they were supposed to or something. I don't remember what the deal was. It was just a big old clusterfuck. It had never been done before, so they were trying something new. And, you know, no matter how many times you practice it, the human element always screws everything up. Well, that's mage. That's how mage works. Now I'm going to switch to my archer, just to show you how ranged attacks work. Assuming Zeus doesn't crash the server again. And when you're an archer, you got all your different elemental arrows and physical arrows. You got the 3 physicals, 4 elementals. This guy only uses 2 of the 4. And you can also have bows that have elemental effects as well. This guy's not high enough level for that. Let me get my buffs. Jesus. Snow Tusker. Yeah, you remember that? How about bow? While he does that, I'm going to grab another cup of coffee and I'll be right back. Excuse me. Remind me to stock up your tapers before I quit for the evening. Good. And there's Acheron, the man who brought us to this god-forsaken world. We're gonna go up around Nydusa Castle this time. There was a, the world was enslaved by the Ulthoi, those bug-looking things. And, things were getting desperate. So Acheron, started opening portals to other worlds and bringing people in to help with the war. And, you know, in exchange for their help, he gave them access to his magic. Ordinarily, you'd have to make these things. But for whatever reason, they're available on this vendor. He meant to take them out, and he never did. I kind of almost hope he does. Uh, 63. I like to carry 200 of each. 59. Do, 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 do. 34. And 62. And we're good to go. Yeah, that's an Ulthoi right there. That's the Ulthoi Queen, actually. What the hell are you doing, dude? I wish I could. I really wish I could. It still requires two people. One to distract and one to kill. Even with, you know, everybody being much more badass than when Pookie was put out, Bunny Smite will still kill you quicker and shit. I can't even get out there. I have no way to get out there, to tell you the truth. Unless somebody has the BSD tie. Or the Metos. I think there's a Metos out there too. There's a weight burden system. You know, once you're at 100%, your defenses start dropping. Or once you get above 100%, your defenses start dropping. Wrecked his shit. Holy crap. Must have got a crit. Now that is... There's going to be some unhappy mages, I'll tell you what. And you can fire point blank. This may have been a mistake. Ding. Oh, we're alright. Thank you, sir. Only 230 to go. What's nice about bow range attacks is they arc, so you can shoot over hills. There are war spells that will arc over a hill, but they're less effective than the straight-on war spells. Truth, what's going on? Oh, really? I did not know that. Did not know that. What's nice about range attacks is if you miss, you can pick up your arrows. They're actual solid things. Have you been getting any streaming in, Truth? I don't recall seeing you on it all lately. Oh yeah, I'm tempted by all kinds of them. Usually goes away after about a week of playing them. Oh, okay, good, good. I played a lot of them. Tell you the truth, tell you the truth. They just don't hold my attention for very long. Easy mode, you know, there's just no. Just doesn't seem like there's much of a challenge. That's just me talking, you know. It's other people find them perfectly enjoyable, and that's fine. I don't criticize people for doing so. I am a PvP guy. We just had that conversation earlier. I'm just too nice to do PvP. Except in World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, I love the PvP. Yeah, I did, Demon. I did. And those are a couple of days I'll never get back. AC2 was a testing of a new engine that Turbine was working on. That never went anywhere. I think they incorporate a lot of that stuff into Middle-earth Online, actually. Well done, so that there's a potential. Asheron's Call. All you do is play on one of the red servers. There's white servers and red servers for Asheron's Call, and red servers you're automatically flagged for PvP. All the dungeons are open. Well, EverQuest is similar. Um, and actually, there was a funny story. There was an event where there were these shards that were holding Balzeron back from being able to get into the world, you know, like in another plane of existence or something like that. And there was this quest line where, unbeknownst to the player base, they were supposed to destroy these crystals to get, you know, fat loot. So naturally, the players are going to destroy them to get fat loot or whatever. And what they didn't know is they were actually unleashing Balzeron onto the world. But on one of the servers, they figured it out. And instead of destroying the final crystal that was holding them back, they were feeding people to it. Because in Asheron's Call, when a monster kills you, it'll gain XP, just like a player will. So they're effectively power leveling the bad guy, the big bad guy at the end. And those that weren't sacrificing themselves to the crystal thing were setting up defenses to prevent anybody else from getting in. And it was PvP. So on all the servers except one, the crystal got killed and Balzeron was released. But on this one server, it didn't happen because the developers went in to kill the crystal because they had to advance the storyline, you know. They couldn't kill it. It was too powerful. I think eventually they had to despawn it. Or respawn it. Funny stuff. They actually erected a statue to him. The developers, they thought it was such a clever use of game mechanics that they erected a statue to those people for their valiant effort in trying to keep Balzeron from becoming released. Of course, eventually he did get released, and then there was the whole big Asheron-Balzeron battle that we talked about earlier, where one of them inadvertently killed the other one before the scripted time. So they had to restart the entire event. And the two characters were run by two of the developers. And they were effectively doing a PvP battle. Lots of fun stuff. They used to do content patches every month. Rather than release expansion. They did release a few expansions, but rather than do that, they just do content patches every month, where they'd advance the storyline, put in new dungeons, new gear, new stuff, you know. So every month was there. One day out of every month there was patch day, and that's the day you decided not to play. That's the day you cleaned your house, because the servers were always so unstable on patch day. It was awful. When it first came out, it was awful. I know me personally, I would do up to 16 hours a day. Yeah, every time, every freaking patch day, there was always a rollback. Because something was wrong, something wasn't working as intended. You can only test it so much before you send it out live to the players. And, you know, as they have shown, they always do things that you just can't anticipate. Looking for specific materials for salvaging purposes, trade skill stuff. That's why I'm just letting a lot of this stuff go. That's the kind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that just doesn't happen anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, most games that come out now, by the time the game comes out, there's been so much, you know, teasers and beta testing, and by the time it comes out, people are already sick of it. And it's so meticulously developed that there's no chaos factor, really. Or they've minimized it. It's not to say that they're not doing good things with games. They're doing some really amazing things. Action combat is a great change of pace from the traditional tab targeting. The World of Warcraft and their phasing mechanic, and which allows you to do storyline quests and be immersed in the story kind of thing. Really neat stuff. These are flowers you can pick, and then if you get enough of them, you can stuff them in a vase and hang them on a hook in your house. So you have a vase of flowers. There's snowflowers and sunflowers. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll always try out something new. What did you have in mind? Because I may have already played it, and I don't want to waste your money. Played a lot of MMOs. Not all of them, of course. Nobody has, but... Oh. Pantheon. You're talking about Pantheon, aren't you? Oh, Ashes. I was in the alpha for that. The very first alpha test, Alpha Zero that they did. I got to get in on that. It's part of the game, one of the perks of gaming life. Yep. It was very early. It was beautiful, beautiful game. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything new. Now, if they're able to pull off some of the stuff that they're talking about, you know, like with the world-changing stuff, you know, where you can actually change the physical aspects of the world and whatnot, they might have something there. But from what I've seen, not that it's a bad game, it's just nothing new. It's nothing that I haven't seen before. In fact, they're getting ready to do another round of Alpha Zero. They just released some videos, or unless they've already done it or something. Yeah. Yeah, I like action combat. It really adds something to the game. I hope they're able to pull off what they're trying to do. If they can, I'm actually more excited about what they're proposing than I am Pantheon. You know, Pantheon is EverQuest with upgraded graphics. People hate me for saying that, but really that's all it is. From what I've seen, that's really all it is. I've already played EverQuest. In fact, I still play EverQuest. We were supposed to do EverQuest tonight. I could have got into the second round of Alpha, I just didn't renew my invite. So I just lost interest after the first round. But talk to Theo about that. He could probably get you in on that. Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll check it out again. See what they've changed. But that kind of thing is what turns me off to a lot of games now. I'd rather they just do the game. Oh, you are? Okay, good. I'd rather they just develop the game, get it ready, have a very small beta testing group, and then launch it. So that way, when it comes out, everything is new. Everything's a surprise. But now, I mean, well, so I'm half afraid that Cyberpunk 20, even though it's not an MMO, I'm half afraid that Cyberpunk 2077, by the time they bring it out, I'm just going to be sick of it because I've seen it all, you know. And I'm really excited about that game. Really excited about that game. I mean, probably inappropriately excited about that game. I love these things. These are one of my most favorite monsters in the game. Ultoi Eviscerators. Look at them. Don't they just look like death incarnate? I'm going to make you have a very bad day. Nothing practical about them. They can't eat a sandwich, but boy, they can murder stuff. Why are you so hard to hit? This is ranged attacks. There's bow, there's crossbow. The animation on crossbow is a lot slower, but the damage is a hell of a lot more. Weapons have a modifier, and this is a 116 modifier bow. Now a similar tier crossbow would be 140%. Alright, here, we're going to have fun with this guy. This is another one of those Glacial Golem Margraves. We're going to debuff him first, hopefully. Wait, do I even have debuffs on this guy? I guess I should have checked that first. I don't even think I have them. No, I don't. God damn it. Do I even have life magic on this guy? Yeah, I do. Why didn't I ever buy any spells? Alright, Rat King. Sleep well. Every night at 11 o'clock. You know how it goes. No. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to fight that guy. It's just going to take too long to kill him. I never bought my spells on this guy. The reason I'm doing this, just running around and killing stuff, is just to show you that it's a seamless world. If you can see it, you can run to it. Yep. Yes, it is, P-Dub. We started out... Oh, here we are right now. We started out in Idisa Castle, and we're up here now, making our way up towards the north coast. That would take hours. It would take hours. It used to be one of our little goof around things when we were bored, you know, towards the end of the month when you've done all the new content and everything. Um, had one guy that started in Heavy and Tow. Just hopped out on the beach and just ran, following the beach all the way around. And he made it to like here, I think, before he finally got killed by something. And hours. Hours. No, you can still do a P-dub. I can't. It's a PvP thing. And that's one of the reasons why I suck at PvP, because there's a trick to it, there's a knack to it, and I can't do it. Now, a certain degree of it's based on run skill and stuff, but I'm no good at it. Driss could probably show you. Well, let's go back down, see if he can show you. Losing my voice. Not used to talking this much. Are you here, Driss? Are you? Yeah, that's what he's talking about. No, there's no PK light. Nope, sorry. No, it's emulator, Librem. Libramin. He's been getting attacked by this thing for the last hour. Poor guy. I can't hit him. Just swinging and miss. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, the slide strafe was a bug originally in the game. You turn and strafe at the same time, and you just start sliding across the floor. But it turned out to be such a useful thing, they decided to just leave it in the game. Yeah, there's several emulators out, Libra men. I keep condensing that. This is a classic server. It's all the old weapon skills, you know, axe, crossbow, dagger, blah blah blah. And then there's PvE. And then there's High Tide, which is a PvP Throne of Destiny server. Reef Call, which is a PvE Throne of Destiny server. There's another classic server out there. There's quite a few. Well, not quite a few, like 5 or 6. So, and different flavors. So, yeah, it was sad. It was a real tearjerker. So, it is still available in various forms. Anywhere from, I'd say, 80 to 90% complete on all the servers. Excuse me. He just left that thing there attacking you, didn't he? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I have no idea. Not like I have any spells anyhow. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. I can pop you a Discord link right now if you want. It's all done through Discord. So. But I'll be back on tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. I think we're doing can't talk EverQuest tomorrow night. But if you want to hop in, I can pop you a link and good to go. Around 11 Eastern, I'll be on. If you don't want to deal with it tonight, which is understandable. Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. You know where to find me. Yeah, I don't know how they do it, P-Dub. MGTOW, no. Oh, no, that's a Twitch thing. That's a Twitch thing. Yeah. He's been there beating on Driss for the last hour. Who's that? Zeus was on earlier goofing around, and that's what we ended up with. No, Twitch is trying to find means of revenue to keep the servers running. I guess Amazon doesn't want to dump too much money into it, so they have to find other alternative methods, and that's one of them. Unfortunate, but necessary evil. He wants you bad, dude. This happened. He was spawning some Legions last night, and one of them just kept following me and following me and following me. It would not go away, which is odd behavior for mobs in Asheron Skull. Where'd you go? Got him. A lot of the all the Verendi stuff still works. And I'm using Agent Z, Castaway Bot, and Alinko buffs, Alinko 3. So they all still work. He got away. Oh, you probably don't even need to do a reinstall. You can just copy over the DAT files and you're good to go, Lieberman. That's the only thing you'll need to change and get the launcher. You'll need the launcher. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'd have to check version numbers, but I think the DAT files will take care of all that. There you go. Hell, you might be better off than the rest of us who had to do it from scratch. It's a bug monster that Zeus spawned earlier. And will never go away. Groovy. If you want a high population server, PVE, you want to do Reef Call. If you want classic stuff, this one is very low population, but it has all the classic weapon skills. It's really just a simple matter of unzipping the DAT files and copying them over into your Asheron's Call folder. That's it. And then, you know, the launcher, you have to direct it to your installation, but that's it. Piece of cake. Hell, you're already halfway there. Tinkering works, housing works. The only thing that none of them have gotten to work is the secondary combat abilities. So, you know, like the sneak attack and that kind of stuff. And nobody's really complaining. No, wait, I think one of them... Yeah, that too. He's our buff bot. Just runs the one and only buff bot on the server. I'm on every night from 11 to 3. It's about the only time I get to play. 11 to 2, 11 to 3, Eastern time. Family, you know. Just don't have a lot of time during the day. Sometimes I'll sneak on during the day when, you know, I get a few extra hours or something. But there's always somebody on. May not be a lot of people, but there's always somebody. Exactly, exactly. This one doesn't have the town network portals, so you got to run. You got to do a lot of running and portal hopping, which I like. Who's that? Asney. Well, he's just running all over the place, isn't he? Groovy. Yeah, I'll be here. I'll probably be playing EverQuest tomorrow night, but I'll be here. Got the information right here, so simple copy paste, copy paste. Old sub, yeah. The Arwick subway. Some of the other newer subs. Yep, that's there. That's what I was going to do. I was just going to give him the Discord link. I'm on the Discord all day. So, you can even message me on Twitch if you want. Oh, and thanks for the follow. Yeah, because I'm here all day, literally all day. So. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a coffee. No, they are not, Henry. Yes, they are, MGTOW. In what? Lieberman. I missed something. Yeah, not private servers, emulators. Your homestead. Okay. Yep, send me a message whenever. I'm always here. Now, where did I leave that armor? There it is. Theoretically, yes, they could, but they never did. They weren't coded to target each other. Not that I know all that much about it. No, it's just a question of targeting. Switching back to my unarmed guy. Be right back. We power leveled a Drudge Prowler once. Out of boredom. Boy, some newbie got a real surprise when he attacked that thing, let me tell you what. It's right behind the pub in Heavy and Tow. There used to be a spawn right behind there where a Drudge would spawn. And we brought him into the inn, and then somebody debuffed the shit out of himself and then laid down on the floor while the Drudge attacked him, and it just killed him over and over and over again. And he was like level 80 or 90, and then, you know, the Drudge would gain several levels every time he killed him. By the time we were done, the Drudge was like 30 or 40 or something like that. I don't know. And then we just let it go back to its spawn point. And you know, we're sitting on the roof of the pub just talking, you know, how we used to do. And this newbie comes running through town, sees the Drudge, goes to attack it, and bam! It just wrecked his shit. It was so funny. On this server since day one, since I opened the server. Because I played on it before they switched over to the Classic. Now, I haven't been on the Fizzle servers the entire time, but quite a while before that too. It started on a reef call, and then just, you know, I wanted to check out some of the other servers, and I landed here, and it just felt like home, and that's where I stayed. Woot! Full bag of sunstone. I'm excited. Yeah, it was about a year and a half ago. This one, very few. Reef Call has anywhere from 1 to 300, depending on time. There's a lot of botting, not botting, multi-boxing, boxing. There's a lot of boxing on the servers. None of the servers prohibit it. So that is a thing. So whatever the whatever it says the server population is, like on Reef Call, for example, divide that by about 3, and that's how many actual people are on. Not casting any judgment, just saying. Did you see the yeah, guy that used to play Asheron's Call, he was retired, 72 years old, and it was such a sad story. Such a boy, you want to talk about a tearjerker. And then they brought the servers down. The guy didn't know what he was going to do with himself after that point. Yeah, that was a real tearjerker. Somebody should tell him about this. I'm sure he'd be happy. Oh, he does? Good, good. I'm glad he found one. I'm glad he found a server to play on. That makes me happy. Yeah, you develop an attachment not just with the game, but with the people. When Zeus finally gets tired of our shit, it's going to be a sad day. That's kind of why I'm hoping they do get that museum archive thing. Probably, yeah, he'd probably do something like that. So that all this stuff can be archived. Non-profit, of course. This stuff should be preserved. You will never see City of Heroes again, for example. Well, no great loss there. Although there is a Asheron's Call server running somewhere. I don't know where. But somebody did start up an Asheron's Call 2 server. City Heroes is fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Excuse my French. It was such a good game. Damn it. I was able to check out AC2 before they brought it down. I could see where it could have been something good um, if they developed it a little more. It just seems so flat. You know, this is coming from somebody who plays Asheron's Call. Yeah, yep. It's a game mechanic. City of Heroes was freaking awesome. You felt like a superhero when you played that game. Super Jump was the most amazing ability in the world. They had flying and super speed and all that, but Super Jump was the best way to go. You just leap for blocks over buildings. Alright, I'm going to head up north again. Do a little more salvaging before we wrap things up for the night. Got 45 minutes on my buffs, so might as well use them up. Did I buff all my weapons? I hope I buffed all my weapons. Well, we'll find out, won't we? But keep your eyes out for Vanguard and City of Titans. Two spiritual successors to City of Heroes. They're very similar feel, very similar mechanics. NCSoft flat out refused to let anybody have access to the original code for City of Heroes. So you'll never see it again. This is why the stuff needs to be archived. They do it with books. Why not do it with games? Now, we're biased, to be honest. For me, it was my first game, and you always judge every game by the first game that you played. For the EverQuest folks, it was EverQuest. Not that I don't enjoy EverQuest, but it wasn't my first. So I always compare everything to this. Anonymous would disagree. He hates it when I stream this game. heard a lot of people go on about that. I have no experience with it whatsoever. I kind of like EQ2. It's not a very popular opinion, but I kind of liked it. I almost wish I'd spent more time playing it. Oh wow, that's awesome. For a lot of people, it's Ultima. Ultima is their first. That's what they compare everything to. There's some skeezy stuff going on at Variant, whatever it was at the time. The guy who left and then started up Vanguard. Even though he made a really good game with Vanguard, people have a very unhealthy opinion of him. Yeah, him. Vanguard Saga of Heroes, I mean, not Vanguard the... Really? I didn't get that deeply into it, and I always played melees. Just, you know, mana. Although I don't think mana was really an issue in that game. I don't know. I don't remember. Didn't get to play enough of it. It's still, I could still play it. It's just, there's too many freaking games and not enough time. If I didn't like the girlfriend so much, I'd probably play more. But she's kind of cool, so. Don't want to screw that up. Oh, that's right. You got a house full this weekend. All right, Driss. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Really? You don't get that angry about something unless you're passionate about it. Girlfriend and I were having a conversation earlier today about some of her coworkers and how they never fight with their husbands. And really all that is indicative of is a couple that just really doesn't like each other enough to fight. Because we fight like cats and dogs. Not a lot, but when we do, it's a slobber knocker. That's why one of the things I like. I don't mean to go on. I really don't. But it's one of the things I like about her is good conversations. You appreciate those a lot more when you get older. Thought-provoking ideas, that kind of thing. And she's very red-pilled. Very red-pilled. And you know it's true because she's not here listening to it. Yeah, it's that difference in mindset between men and women. Men just look for solutions to problems. Women just look for problems. They don't really care about solving the problems. They just, to them, the satisfying part is the complaining about the problem, not the solving of the problem. Whereas with a man, every time he's confronted with a problem, he wants to solve it. And it really makes it awkward. Because, we're different. It is not a social construct. Yeah. Oh. That was a little messy. That's it. Trap. It's a trap. Or MGTOW. Just put it all behind you. And she'll be the first to admit that there's literally no reason for a man to get into a relationship with a woman in this day and age. Literally none. You have nothing to gain and everything to lose. Oh, that's what I got. Not really. We worked to our strengths. She wanted to work. Somebody had to stay home with the kid. So there we are. So I do what I can from home. She hates being cooped up in the house, and I hate leaving the house. So it works out. It's a Jack Sprat and his wife situation. We complement each other very well. Sometimes. Sometimes. Not go out, just, you know, go for a walk or get out of the house for a little while. And sometimes, you know, I need to. You can't spend all your life in the house, no matter how much you want to. So there has to be a little give and take. There has to be. But she understands that my desire to stay home, and I understand her desire to want to go out and do things. So there's a compromise. After a big fight, after a big fight, there's a compromise. I think for 90% of the couples out there, that's the basis of their problems. Well, come on, what is going on here? What am I trying to say? They spend too much time around each other. You need separation. You need private time. You need time to do the things that you want to do by yourself, you know. She understands that. Doesn't always like it, but understands it. But every single time we get into one of those real big nasty fights and it looks like we're going to call it quits and just go our separate ways, we just walk away from each other, and after about a half hour we realize it's the stupidest thing we could ever do. Especially now with the kid involved, you know. Well, all right, here we go. We didn't think it was possible to have a kid for reasons. So when it turned out that she was in fact with child, we had a choice to make. And neither one of us would choose to terminate, you know. So having it was the only choice. And because we're both very much choices, consequences kind of people, we of course had to go through with it. And part of that is staying together so we can do it together. Lost my train of thought. So there was no option. In our minds, there was no option. And we had a pretty good relationship prior to that. So it wasn't really difficult for us to maintain that. But it makes it much easier for us to continue to maintain that now. Because now it's not about us anymore, it's about the kid. And we have to put our own pettiness aside. To fulfill that obligation. It sounds very loveless. But, you know, love is the worst thing to base a relationship on. Not that we don't have plenty of that. But, yeah. Very, very. But it's pragmatic, with an underlying layer of mutual respect and love. So, yeah, it sounds mushy when you say it out loud. But you know what I mean. Because it's not about us, it's about the beast. We have a responsibility to bring her up in a good, stable household. And that makes a lot of this stupid shit that people fight about just kind of go away. And people break up over. Now, breaking up over money is retarded. Breaking up over sex is retarded. Or lack thereof. Breaking up because your girlfriend's a cheating whore, yeah, that's okay. Copper is, what is 6? We just took our roles and our responsibilities very seriously from the get-go, because there was no choice. And when you don't have a choice, it makes choices a lot easier to make. I think that's how my grandparents did it for 60-some odd years. Because my grandfather hated my grandmother, hated her. They didn't sleep in the same room. They never talked to each other, but they stayed together for 60-some odd years. And she died first, and you could almost hear the sigh of relief on his part, which is horrible to say, but well. You don't want the world to remember you as a cunt? Don't be a cunt when you're alive. He did. Before he finally kicked it, he did. And they were very happy years for him, too. He got to spend a lot of time with his kids. He got to watch his baseball in peace, because he loves baseball. He loves watching baseball. Dispersing! What's going on? Got here just in the nick of time. Yep. Tomorrow's EverQuest, assuming Thompson makes it. I'll do EverQuest regardless, in one form or another. If he's not going to make it, then I'll just hop on the live servers and do some soloing on that. It's not quite P99, but you know, it's close. And thank you for hanging out. What I got left? I got 20 minutes left. I want to find one more piece of white sapphire before I wrap up for the evening. Tried shaving today. Something I don't do very often. I got an electric shaver, and the beard trimmer, the blade's absolutely shot on it. It was just fraying the hairs. You could see it in the mirror. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just grow a full beard. Wouldn't that be nice? None. I think I'm going around the top and more. Nope, not quite. Still at the top of the island. Ooh, another tooth. And a hide. I need another coat. Alright, fellas, come over here. For the Verendi spawn. And that takes us down to about 15 minutes. I'm going to go turn these bits in to the collectors. I am on the Fizzle Classic server. It's the only server with a rampaging pumpkin golem. Yeah, all the old weapon skills, level 7 max, no blue people, 3 original races. It's pre-TOD with a twist. There's some post-TOD items in the game, but they've been modified for the old weapon skills and whatnot. What have we here? Crushing blow, biting strike, 325, bludgeon. Oh, that's not bad until we get something better. I'll keep that. We'll get rid of the rest. Yeah, you'll need the classic DAT files to play on it. If you've been playing on Reef Call or whatever, it's really just a simple matter of copying over the classic DAT files. Oh, good, we got another coat. That's what we needed. This one's very low pop. You might have 5, maybe 10 people on at any given time. It's slowly growing. But it's fun. You can macro if you want. You can do your multi-boxing thing if you want. Or you can play it old school. We do have one guy that's running, Driss is running a buff bot in Holberg, cast level 7s. And that's Bane's included. Yeah, you know enough about the game to know basically what I'm talking about. It is. It's a lot of fun. I've been having a blast doing it all old school. No macroing, no bots, no multi-boxing, none of that stuff. And I've just been having time in my life. I really have. Just going out in fields and killing things, doing the salvaging. You know, because that's really all AC boils down to: killing things, salvaging things, finding drops. And it's just been so much fun. Been enjoying it so much. This is the mansion. We really had to shoehorn our character. My trade skill mule is at the top of the monarchy chain. Not chain, but pyramid. And we really had to shoehorn him in to be able to get the mansion. Because there's no way in hell a server with this low population will ever meet the requirements to buy a mansion. So the guy that runs the server had to get the crowbar out. But here we are. And on that note, folks, I'm sorry you came in at the very end, Walsifer. You can get the Discord link from the launcher for Classic if you ever want to check it out. All you need is the DAT files. Unzip them, copy them over, overwrite the ones that are already there. And you should be able to connect right away. You don't have to change decal or anything. And then if you want to go back to Reef Call, just do it right back again. And yeah, that's it. You folks have a great evening. EverQuest tomorrow night, P99, or live depending on what happens. And back on here on Monday. So good night, folks.